Good evening. Welcome back to Where the Owls Sleep. It's another episode of the Parliament. You're here with me and Stocks. How's it going, Stocks? You good?
Not...
Oh, that's Samir. Right. I've got Samir. You know what? After that mishap, let's go with everybody. We're all in. It looked completely different in my screen, and then it switched up to Samir. Not that they look anything similar, but...
So I guess you're the one who put depose instead of dispose.
Oh yeah, cool. If you haven't posted it, it's me, and if it's a spelling mistake, it's definitely me because I don't read anything unless it's a work email.
Does he, Jack?
Only sometimes.
Not on that, but I thought it's Sunday night and we've got enough troubles tomorrow to come. So,
right. So, how is everybody? How's it going?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Samir, your evening's only going to get worse. Don't worry about
that. Yeah, spent the weekend getting the outfit ready for the open top bus parade for the 12 points. So
yeah, positive weekend for you, though, isn't it? Positive weekend for you, though, John. You're
for once
you've avoided being record breakers, which a lot of people wouldn't celebrate. But I suppose that's a good thing for you guys this weekend.
You take the small victories, I guess. Like I think it's a mark of where we are. I guess it's just like it's quite an embarrassing sort of thing. I mean, I don't think any Southampton fan is genuinely celebrating that, other than in a tongue-in-cheek fashion. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Was it one of them ones that you was actually quite hoping to say we've been the worst team in the Premier League ever, just so you've got a record for the sake of it?
I don't think anyone truly does. But I think there was a point where I was resigned to it, particularly after being at Leicester last week and losing that one. When you're sort of looking at it, your next three fixtures are Man City, Everton as the last game at Goodison, and Arsenal, you sort of think you're getting nothing out of those realistically. Quite how we've done it yesterday is anyone's guess. Like to be fair, but I wouldn't necessarily want the record. Do I think there's a lot of players in there that deserve that stink on their name? 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess as a fan, the grief I get from you lot is pretty much just scratching the surface of like what I get from everyone else. So, glad to have swerved it.
Fair enough.
I don't give you any grief.
Damn it!
Is he picking to me?
Yeah, that's it. I just pick on Arsenal, Tottenham fans these days. That's it.
By the way, with West Ham's win today, Tottenham and Man United, Europa League finalists, just above the relegation zone.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. We'll go straight into this, to be fair. But it is crazy that we've literally got the two teams directly above the relegation zone in a Europa League final. It's the type of thing that should never actually be allowed.
No.
I can't believe it's something that we're actually going to be talking about. It's just bonkers.
I mean, years ago, there used to be the whole... I always had this kind of tongue-in-cheek thing with my mates. It used to be sort of like that race to 40 points, wasn't it, for survival? Yeah. I'd always be like, talk at 40 and that. We've got two teams that are on the brink of Champions League qualification without even reaching the 40-point mark in the league with 2 games left. That's mental. It's absolutely... It's crazy, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Stocks is loving it.
Fucking God.
It is literally like a full-on bum fight in a European final.
It's probably as close as you can get in sporting terms to winning the lottery, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You've obviously earned it by winning a final, but it is the equivalent to the average person winning the lottery, isn't it? It's a season-changing, potential for decade-changing, imminent future-changing, victory. It's just the value of it and the importance of it now is humongous, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And I don't think we've had anyone in history of football finish this low and get Champions League. If I'm wrong, I don't think we've got anyone finish this low.
Well,
in any league.
well, it's almost impossible, isn't it, to finish it?
Yeah,
Like,
it
you'd
is,
have to be
yeah.
relegated, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, there isn't really much of a lower point for you to be in the league.
Yeah.
I'd
But
be
there's been
interested to know if there's ever been a Europa. Well, in fact, it's not even that fun anymore, is it? Because, like I say, there is no lower point other than relegation. I was thinking a few weeks ago, this must be the 2 lowest ranked teams that have ever been in a cup final.
Yeah.
Like even domestic cup finals. I can't imagine you've ever had say 2 relegated teams in the same final. We might have had one. I think we have had one, haven't we? Wigan did it.
Wigan, yeah.
Yeah, Wigan, Middlesbrough got relegated once. Millwall were in the Championship, I think, when they one year.
Cardiff were in the Champo as well.
Oh, here goes Stocky. West Ham won it from the old second division. Yeah, we know. We know.
Funny enough, we
But
beat
then,
Arsenal.
going back to this though, it's interesting when you think, because I think both of these clubs have been massive beneficiaries of the rule changes, because this would never have happened when you had teams dropping in from the Champions League. And honestly, to me, I think that's been one of the better things about it, because I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the kind of failing sideways, sort of like coming third in the Champions League group and then still having a chance of winning a European trophy, which I think if you go back over it, many, many teams must have done in the last 10, 15 years.
It's actually not that many. Since they've dropped down, me and Stocky have been told this numerous times last week, because we had this conversation on another thread, on another stream, but apparently there's only 6 or 7 times it's happened since 98 or something silly like that.
Oh, wow.
What's happened, sorry?
That a team that's dropped down from the Champions League has gone on to win the UEFA Cup or the Europa League.
Oh, that was so
What,
fun.
they don't actually win it?
It's only happened 6 or 7 times in something like 28 or 29 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, but who was it?
I thought it was about 50-50, but it's not even close to that. And it's happened once in the last 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
But I'll mitigate in some of the teams that do win it are Champions League standard. But I could be bothered to bring that. I could be bothered to bring that conversation in, because we was having chat GBT issues.
Yeah,
doing it.
but also, if you look at the teams that finished in that bracket in the Champions League group this year, one of them definitely would have made the final, because there was some proper elite level teams that had to go through, like Man City and Real Madrid were in a playoff, which means they would have been one of the teams to drop down into Europa.
Yeah.
So would PSG.
And PSG, yeah. So you're looking at probably 3 of the best 5 teams in Europe on their day would have dropped into the Europa League.
Yeah.
But then what of the loser of this as well? Because there's so much riding on it for whoever wins it, but it's mental to think.
Exactly. Everyone says that. Everyone's going to Arsenal fans. Oh, Man United and Tottenham are in the final. I'm like, guys, okay, one of them has to lose. And whoever loses is finishing 16th or 17th. They're going to agree.
Flip side of that, one of them also has to win something.
They can have that, but we don't care about that. We're going towards the loser.
John, you are right, though. You are right. This is very much like the opposite of what I just said about the things about the lottery win. This is like you forgot to put your ticket. You forgot to put your ticket numbers on, and then your numbers come in. That shit. Because I wouldn't be able to personally come back to that from that for a long, long time. If ever would I be able to come back from that as a man. So this would be a very, very big loss. It's an equally big win. I think the loss is going to be even greater than the person who wins.
Yeah.
I think that's even more if Tottenham win it, because I feel like Man United are in a terrible situation if they don't win it.
I mean, they'll have to rethink everything, won't they? Then?
Yeah.
Because if they get the Champions League, they can say. I mean, I think by all accounts, Andy's a dead man walking, isn't he? No matter what.
I think it's sorted regardless.
Yeah. So if United don't get it, then the whole Amorim positive wave has fucking crashed, hasn't it? It's because they've got to rethink everything. They've got to say, well, your strategy was wrong. You didn't win the final. I can't see him not winning it personally.
It's just so tantalising either way.
Yeah.
Either way, lads, we feast.
Yeah. So just so we don't get cancelled, it really
neutrals
is
buffet,
a famous meme, isn't it?
But when it comes down to it, I do
Them two fighting each other really is a definition of an extremely famous meme. I think, well, two bums fighting is usually the toned down version of it. But like, I mean, it could be 0-0, it could be 5-5, it could be 4-0 to Tottenham, and like, there's just no calling it at all, is there? Because it's just so shit.
I think it's fitting that it goes to 0-0. And then someone scrapes it 2-1 on penalties.
2-1 on pens is wild.
And even then, it's in sudden death penalties.
2-1 on penalties, and everybody's taken a pen. The goalkeeper scores the winner.
It's only fitting.
Oh,
Wait,
that would literally be the best way.
That happened the last time United were in Europa League final.
Yeah, but it didn't finish 2-1 to me. It was something like 9-8 or something like that.
I meant the keepers. Like, it went all the way down to the freaking keepers. Like, it just told you everything.
It would be hilarious. Be good to see. Well, as we're on this subject, it was well known that we put a bet on last week.
Oh, jeez, did we?
Just to give everybody an update, it failed on game 1.
Game 1?
Jack, after he convinced us to go with Barca over Inter, decided he was going to front up for bet 2. And then that bet only made it to night 2 because Fiorentina went out as well. So all bets are off.
That's
terrible.
But actually, if you actually run through it,
we've had a stinker.
Who I chose for League 2 to win it. I think they're 2 or 3-0 down after their home
2-0 down.
leg of their 2-0 down of their home leg in the semi-final. So that Coventry
you are convinced.
Yeah.
I went through like 0-0. Oh, that was awful. 0-0. I've just come off watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still not dead, but that could quite easily be both the other teams in
both the other teams in the final, where we had Orient and Charlton to meet in the final. Yeah,
it's so funny though, because like, if you were a Charlton, because a friend of mine's a Charlton fan, I texted him and it was like, I said, like, you'd take that, wouldn't you? He goes, yeah, for 88 minutes you would, because like for 88 minutes, Charlton would have like ran from there of like a 0-0. They had 2 glorious chances within about a minute of each other right before the end. And didn't take. It could have been so much more, but I wouldn't have said they deserved to win on the night, like by any stretch. But and then like with Coventry, like I'd literally written a whole dissertation view like last week about Sunderland's form, this, that. Coventry will get through to the final. I'm not saying that's off the cards completely, but like it doesn't look good based on the last couple of games. But
so much better. Sunderland was so much better the other night.
They were. Yeah.
Didn't you? Sorry, Stocky. Didn't you have a little sniff at Bristol City? Were you not banging that drum at one point?
Yeah. I went Bristol,
and that was their 3-0 down as well on the home leg. Just want to stress it is the home leg as well that's completely fucked. So yeah, as it goes, it reminds me many years ago, about 15 years ago, one of my mates won really big on an ACCA. A guy called Mark Watson. Right? I always remember this way. He put £1. My mate put a £5 accumulator on, and he put £1 on the opposite results of it, and it came in, and he won like $3,500. I mean, and he was like 20, so that's like the lottery, isn't it? And it was the weekend of, funny enough, what you mentioned about it, when Portsmouth went to Old Trafford and won in the FA Cup.
Yeah, semi-final,
quarterfinal, I think that was it. Yeah, it's quarterfinal out, and then I think did Spurs lose at home to someone in that? It was like a massive weekend of shocks, wasn't it? Because it was just Portsmouth and like 3 championship teams in the FA Cup semi-finals. And if we just put £1 on the opposite of these results, we might have had a chance. But
yeah. To be fair, with mine and yours betting track record, Jack, you put £1 on the reverse of anything we put on, you're probably going to earn a lot more money.
Yeah.
Breaking news, I've just had a text from said Charlton mate saying, what if I can blag you a ticket for Thursday? So watch the space with that one.
Wickham didn't sell out.
Yeah.
Didn't sell out. they only. I think they're at like 75% capacity. Wickham.
They were banging the drum on Sky tonight that it's a sold out Valley. So,
really?
Yeah, they've been banging the drum like on Sky tonight, saying it's sold out. Which I would imagine. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by. Everyone comes out the woodwork for a playoff game, don't they? It's like,
yeah, of course. Anyone who lives in the local area or half pretend to be a fan will come out.
that's quite funny because I could end up in the Charlton end for a semi-final, or the Orient end for a final, which would be that could be quite a unique position to have been in. But
Yeah.
I think the Orient game was the most entertaining out of all the
Yeah.
playoff ones I've seen this weekend. Good game.
Are we talking about how shocking the offside decision was? First?
Oh
My word!
Oh my God, he's literally on Draper's Field when he scores that. That's how bad it was. Sorry, Jack, that's a reference that you won't understand.
That is an unbelievable reference. That, to be fair.
He is though.
He's a reference of a local park near me, and it would still ring true to how fucking far.
Yeah, pretty much though. Right? It's it went in, and you're like, that's not standing, is it? Sorry, what? That's the sort of luck you need, I guess.
And the way he was celebrating as well in my head, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be embarrassing." And I was like, "Well, this is going to be really embarrassing." And I'm like, "Wait, no, he's not embarrassed. They should be embarrassed. They're just on full circle back to the rest on it. Like,
no matter what they give, someone's going to be very embarrassed here."
After the game, he was like, faking it. He goes, "Did you think it was offside?" He was like, "Yeah, but if you don't give it the big one, they'll probably put the flag up. So give it some."
Really?
Yeah.
So the Stockport manager said it is the single worst decision he's seen on a football pitch in 15 years of being a manager, which I think sums it up.
Come on, you Oaks.
Pretty accurate, to be fair. It's a pretty accurate summary of what actually happened.
Yeah.
The refs didn't have a good game. Full stop. There was penalty shots, some given, some not. It was a bit of a tough one. It looked like it was.
It was a quality game, though, wasn't it? Quality game.
To be fair, if there was ever an advert for VAR,
Yeah.
I don't want it. No.
Yeah, not at all. No, thank you.
However, I would.
Here we go. John's had one season of it. He's like, right, no, back to the championship. None of that.
Back to the championship, boys. Apparently, it's in the play. It's in the playoff final though, which I think is scandalous.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not going to have it for 40, well, it'd be 48 games of the season. You don't have it for, and the 49th, which is easily the most important, you're suddenly going to have to contend with it.
Yeah, the FA brought it in on the basis that someone could sue them.
Bonkers,
and say due to if there was like a singular super obvious mistake, they could say you chose not to use VAR. You've cost us this now. So that's the FA just said, right, everyone should have it then.
Okay, fair enough. Crazy decision though, but we'll see how that pans out because there's bound to be a decision that is going to get changed. That's crucial to the game on VAR now in pretty much all of the finals.
Yeah.
Right, let's get to the Prem stuff from this weekend. Yesterday, with pretty much everything done. The only games that really mattered were Southampton City. So well done, John. Nice little draw there against Southampton. Bournemouth Villa, as Villa are chasing Europe. And who else is chasing Europe? Brighton Wolves. Pretty much all of them, to be fair. Actually, Fulham and Brentford are chasing Europe. So all games actually had a little bit on them yesterday. I didn't clock that until
I feel like Fulham season's the curtain's dropping on that now, I think.
Yeah.
But it all depends on the permutations of who finishes where and who wins what, doesn't it? Because can't we still get all the way down to 10th place going into Europe?
No, I think it is only 8th now. I think it was dependent on like Villa or Arsenal winning the Champions League but qualified. That would have got it down to 9th, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's because of Spurs Man United, it is going to go down to 8th. Oh no, it goes down to 8th if City win the cup.
So if City win the FA Cup, it rolls down to 8th, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So we got that to look forward to.
Don't we get 2 Europa League places through the league?
I
and then
it's just
one
one,
conference place through the league, or is it one of each? It's one of each, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We only had
goes to the League Cup.
in this game.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
They went for it
we
on
only
that
had two.
day last night, but I've forgotten it already.
I always thought we got one of each competition through the league, and then one of each competition through the cups.
It would have been one. It would have been one team. No, it would have been two. No, yeah, it would have been one team in Europa. It would have been two actually. No, it's because United won FA Cup last season, isn't it? Yeah, it's two. It's two.
Actually, no, it must only be one in the conference. So it must be League Cup winners get Conference League, one from the league get Europa League, and the FA Cup get Europa League.
But if the League Cup winners finish above a Europa Conference
League
League
Cup
spot,
winners will roll down into the league this year because we can't finish below a Europa League spot now.
well, invariably it always does, right? If you look back at like the list of winners since the time the Conference League's been there, invariably always a team in the top sort of four. A team that finishes in the top 4 or 5 normally wins the League Cup anyway.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right. So, did you go yesterday, John? That's the question.
No, I didn't. I'm at the because I share a ticket. I wasn't down for this one, but I should. Well, dependent on Orient's involvement in playoff finals, I'm meant to be there on the last day of the season for the Arsenal game.
Okay.
But obviously, should Orient get to the playoff final and I nab a ticket, then I don't think I will be. So,
yeah. All right. Fair enough. We might as well roll into today's games then, because happy days for me. First game of the day. Weird 12 o'clock kickoff. I'm not sure I'm a fan of a Sunday 12 o'clock kickoff, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
decent win against Chelsea. Have to definitely take that. That puts us in prime spot. West Ham, great win at Old Trafford, which I'm guessing is a very rare thing for West Ham. Is it not, Stocks?
Yeah, it's quite a few years since we done that. 2007, maybe?
He did last minute though, last season.
oh blimey, yeah.
Maybe.
I was thinking of Bartes putting his hand up. You know, like that's how far back I was going. But,
yeah, almost that bad. I think it may have been Payet times.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Oh no, that was the FA Cup.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm sure I heard when I was watching back the highlights that it's been a lot longer than that in the league.
Yeah, in the league, yeah, it's even longer.
Yeah.
But we got double over them this year, so I can suffer that.
It's nice when that comes around, isn't it? Because as a Newcastle fan, it was a very long time since we won there, and we never used to do the double over them. And we've done that recently as well. It's quite a good duck to break, isn't it?
I'm not going to lie.
enjoyable.
I mean, they are terrible though, aren't they?
Yeah, but you're still Man United. You just got to take it when it comes in you.
yeah.
And then we've got Forest Leicester. Forest, who have completely fucked it. And I was
They look so nervy.
Yeah, they don't look the same side at all, do they, at the minute?
No.
The jitters were up them. Like they really were. Like, to be fair, like Wood had a couple of chances in the first 5-10 minutes where I think if he takes them and they're 1-0 up, it might settle them a bit, but they just look shaky. Like there's no way Leicester should be going there and scoring twice, like with all due respect. Like Forest sort of played into themselves a bit. Struck me as a very much more panicked. Sorry, Fox.
Does anyone know where Hudson-Odoi was today? Because he weren't playing. Was he injured?
Don't know. It's been a weird one because Nuno's been sort of flitting between the two, isn't he? He's been starting one of Hudson-Odoi or Elanga. It's been a strange one. But
he didn't start Elanga in the semi-final of the FA Cup, did he? That was crazy.
Yeah, it's been weird. He keeps rotating him, and it's very odd.
Yeah, they have really fucked it, haven't they? Really fucked it.
They've gone from a few weeks ago when you look at it and they go, we just need to win the games against, who is it? They've dropped points against now Leicester, Brentford and Everton at home. They've dropped 8 points in the last month. Yeah. Whereas they would have been looking at it saying, we just don't lose them games and we're there. And they've lost them games.
But 5 points out of the last 15. I bet they've not done that all season probably as a 5-game sequence. Yeah. And Villa have got 6 points pretty much banked, haven't they? Playing Spurs and United.
I actually don't think they have. I genuinely don't think they have. I know Spurs and Man United are rubbish.
Yeah, they do, man. Come on. They really do.
I genuinely
was
believe
there.
both of them teams are going to win a game in the league before the end of the season.
But sorry, I got this wrong though, if you remember, because the Europa League final is next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's between the last two games.
So when they play,
it's the week after.
No, it's not. The Conference League final is the week after. The Europa League final is between the last two games.
21st, isn't it?
21st.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm classing it as Monday. Yeah, apologies.
I mean, Villa rolls.
2.5 hours technicality there. Jesus.
I get that. Okay.
But so that final game actually isn't. It's just last game of the season, isn't it? I think that's the United game.
Yeah. So if that's on the 21st, they've got Tottenham next. Tottenham are going to rest everyone.
Yeah. Tottenham's got to be.
One of them will be at Villa Park. Whichever one's at Villa Park, they win.
That's the Tottenham one.
So I don't think they go to Old Trafford last day of the season and win.
Anyone can go there.
Anyone can go there, but we said it backstage before we came on. Last game of the season at home, regardless of who you are, that's a tough game.
Yeah, but
no matter who you're going to,
they might have been on the piss for 3 days.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
If United win, they're going to be on the flipping on the piss. But if they lose, that's just going to be their heads are going to be all over the gaff.
Yeah, we're all ignoring the fact that Man City drew at Southampton yesterday as well, by the way, and Leicester have just drawn at Nottingham Forest as well. Like, as much as we say these teams are rubbish, like two relegated teams have taken points off teams going for Champions League this season.
Yeah, I get it. They're playing against two relegation contenders, so yeah, I get where you're going.
We ain't contenders, mate. We are the full-on. We're the real deal.
I'm talking about Tottenham and Man United.
Tottenham and Man United have got double the points of near enough double the points of Leicester, really.
But the position in the league shows me they're right next to them. So
and crazily enough, I'm pretty sure with Spurs, they've lost to they've dropped points to two of the teams below them.
Yeah,
not us, but
Ipswich.
I think Leicester as well. I think they drew with Leicester.
They did. They drew with Leicester first game.
They lost Leicester. Oh no, Tottenham.
Yeah, no. They got 1 point off Leicester this season. They drew first game of the season and they lost a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Leicester were the last team that Tottenham beat, and it was the only team they scored against in 8 games.
See?
Nuts.
It's just crazy. It is fully crazy. Right, let's have a little look at how things are now looking. So this is the current league table. That's actually a bit blurry on my screen. It's not even come up, has it? Let's do that. My screen's going mad.
Oh, lads, I've just been informed Tottenham lost and drew with Leicester.
Lost and drew, yeah. That's what we said.
I think they got 1 point off them then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's not looking... That's terrible for Tottenham, to be fair. Anyway, so I don't know if this has come up on everybody's screen because my screen's gone crazy.
Yeah,
but the race for the Champions League is still ridiculously tight. I don't think I've ever seen a race for the Champions League have this many teams in it at this stage of the season. And anyone from third down could drop up. Arsenal could potentially finish fourth in a 2-horse race. And it's literally there's teams in here that are playing each other. So it's going to be, I think most of it goes down to the last day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How you look at it, because Arsenal and Newcastle have got each other next. Man City, I believe, have got Bournemouth. Chelsea have got Man United. Villa have got Tottenham, and then I'm not sure who Forest have got. But yeah, it's a crazy running. Has anybody changed their mind on who they think is going to actually get in there? Forest have got West Ham actually.
They're back in the mix. They're back in the mix. Forest counter-attacking at the Soccer Bowl next Sunday.
They're back in the mix.
I think Villa are going next fifth.
You think Villa are going to sneak in, yeah? So who drops out?
You.
Chelsea.
Oh, so you mad?
Honestly, I do.
I think Mitch was talking about.
No, my "Are you mad?" was to Samir because he said Newcastle are going to drop out.
That will be something.
Yeah, that is full on bottle job status if we drop out.
No, but I'm looking at Villa's goal difference and that's not looking nice. So yeah, I don't see that happening.
I could see Chelsea dropping points to like against Forest though.
Oh yeah.
So I think Forest could inadvertently do Villa a favour. Like it won't help Forest scores, but I think Villa win their last 2 games and end up in 5th.
Crucially, as we said last week, that it was in Forest's hands, wasn't it?
Yes.
With the fact that they had Chelsea last game, it was completely 100% in their hands for them to finish top 5. Now it's not. They need Villa to slip up, and I'd quite like it. I'd quite like it to. Well, I mean, we're assuming it's probably going to go to the last game of the season anyway, because Villa will beat Spurs, and it's also tightly compact. But that Forest Chelsea
are also playing Man United.
Interesting, because there's nothing else left to play for, is there, on that last game of the season?
Oh yeah, I just realised.
I'd absolutely love Chelsea to fall out.
Well, so would I. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that realistically, depending on the Arsenal-Newcastle result, you could be done, couldn't you, by the last game of the season?
Yeah.
City could potentially be done, and definitely in the top 4 or 5, and then it could be between Chelsea, Forest, and then the Villa United game. Because that's all that's going to be going on last game of the season, isn't it? Nothing else has got any jeopardy. That's the only thing.
It's going to be the only thing left apart from the lower European, the other 2 European competitions.
Yeah, but on John's point earlier, I just realised that Chelsea is facing United and Villa are facing Tottenham. United and Tottenham both are going to rest players next week. So that could be 3 points for both of them.
Potentially. But it was the same thing when we was talking about the FA Cup final, where they are going to rest some players, but the players that come in are going to be sort of fringe level players that are going to try and play their way into a final place. Yeah. So you could get either side of the team. It's an odd one because as a player, if you're playing and you're kind of guaranteed a place in that final team, you don't want to just phone one in.
Yeah.
And either get injured or then turn up and you're not bang on it. So you still want to kind of go at it and make sure that you're on form for the final. So it's gonna be a weird one. I don't think Tottenham and Man United are going to be as easy to beat as everybody seems to think in these next 2 league games.
But what's his name? Euro came off for United today.
Apparently he's broke something in his foot. Apparently.
Ooh. Yeah. So
Corridor has.
Yeah.
He's been class as well the last few times I watched him.
So, like, Amory could look at that and be like, "Oh, no more chances here." Like,
Thfc came off for Spurs as well.
Thfc came off as well, yeah. So both of them are going to be like,
"Wow,
oh, no more. We're not taking that. Nah, hell no."
Oh, yeah, that is pretty crazy.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of youth players in both games.
Okay, fair enough. Fair points all round. So, John's changed.
Is Son going to be back for Spurs for the Europa?
He was on the bench today, apparently.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, fat lot of good that did for them anyway, but...
Wait, so John's changed his mind and thinks Villa's going to pip Chelsea. Has anybody else changed their mind for a top 5?
I can't remember. Did I put Chelsea in it?
I think when we spoke about it last, I'm not sure if you was even on, Samir. When we spoke about it last, we kind of said it as it is now.
Yeah, no, because I remember me
Villa and Forest and that.
Me and you stopped had predictions ages ago. That's
off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly.
I think I put Forest in. But
actually, I think at that time I was the only one that didn't put Forest in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I put Forest in.
But you did bet on it though, did you? So it means
no, I didn't. That's exactly why I didn't bet on it, Jack. Because I didn't want them to go in that much. That I bet on this, it would go the other way.
Yeah.
Right. So as we did touch on slightly, the rest of the European places: Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth, Fulham, and just about Crystal Palace have all got a chance of qualifying for Europe, which would be massive for all of these sides, really. Apart from Brighton, I don't remember any of these sides being in Europe recently. I remember Fulham were when they had Clint Dempsey and players like that.
Yeah.
But
incredible run for the Europa League final.
Yeah.
The final, no?
They did. I'm pretty sure they got to the final. Didn't they beat Juventus?
Yeah. They beat Juventus.
No, that was Portsmouth. No, that
Yeah,
was
so it's
Ultimate beat AC Milan, but yeah, they beat like 3 or 4 superpowers, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
So it would be amazing for any one of these teams to get in there, to be fair. Because I don't think
The
Brentford
amazing-
or Bournemouth have ever had European football, ever.
No.
At
Yeah,
any
I
point.
was
The
gonna
mad
ask,
thing is
sorry, John. Go on, John.
all I was going to say is the mad thing is all of it could be for now if Palace win next week.
Oh yeah.
So the FA Cup final in that sense is massive for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Wait, is that next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday.
When has the FA Cup ever been like the final? Been before the Premier League?
It has for the
I think
last
it's the
few years.
last 3 or 4 seasons now.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought United and City game was the last game of the season. I'm sure that was.
No. City had just won the league early.
Oh.
Yeah.
They
But
just won the
they've
league.
screwed it up as well because they've done it in a way where because they want the FA Cup final to be a standalone game, it just means all the Premier League fixtures that are going to happen have been moved to the Sunday.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're like a travelling fan, so for example, we're up at Goodison, but they put that as midday, like the same kickoff slot you guys had today against Chelsea. So that's up there as like the 12 o'clock. So if you're a Southampton fan, you're having to get to like Liverpool for a midday kickoff and things like that. So it's not ideal, you know.
But
They only announced the kickoff of it like 3 days ago, the kickoff time.
Yeah.
Because BBC were in conversations saying that they didn't want it to overlap with Strictly Come Dancing.
oh please.
No, I'm serious. This is how much of a disgrace it is. Like,
What the hell?
yeah, I
This is
know.
the FA damn cup. What is going on
I know,
here?
but this is why it's just ridiculous. Have it last game of the season, and that's what we all want. It's the final little hurrah of football for neutrals or obviously people watching their own team.
Yeah,
It's daft, but like so this is kind of what I mean. If Crystal Palace do win, then there is literally nothing riding on that last game of the season other than potentially one Champions League place.
Yeah.
that is it.
Which is a bit shit.
I was going to ask earlier. Do you think Nottingham Forest would be happy with like a Europa League?
They should be.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they weren't. Like,
I think they should.
I don't see how they can't be happy with Europa League. They nearly got relegated last season, by the way.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I mean, they really have ballsed up.
Yeah. They've gone full
opportunity, haven't they?
bottle job. I don't care. I've had Forest fans going back at me and X for calling them bottle jobs.
I was watching that. I was watching that.
I don't get
back to
how
the
you
lot-
can say not though. They've dropped 8 points against teams that are in like the bottom 8 of the table at home.
Back to the
And
lottery.
they've been there all season.
Yeah, it might be of us.
They had the winning ticket in their hand, running towards Camelot, saying, "I'm just coming to," and it's just blown
Yeah,
off. They win, hasn't
Wins
it?
just took it off. It's gone. It's gone
Yeah,
down the
an FA
drain.
Cup.
And then Chelsea have just gone like, "What the fuck? God, result."
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, but like an FA Cup semi-final where they've arguably not started like two of the most influential players in. Like, there's a lot of things you can question about the last month or so.
But that's what I think. I think like they were in a position where they were looking at the FA Cup and then they're looking at the league position. So they're just like, oh shit, like what the hell do we do? And then now they could lose both.
Yeah, they've messed up both. What did you guys think of the owner coming on and having a little get Nuno?
Yeah, I feel like shit, man.
I've seen it now because I turned it off. I've seen it now. I'm not so sure he is doing that.
Yeah.
I think he's going after the ref, and Nuno's basically saying there's no point.
Yeah, is it because the way Nuno walked off? I think you're probably seeing that. The way he walked off, he weren't like, oh, like they got into an argument. Like it's like one of them ones, like you said, he probably went up to him and told him calm down and just like moved away. It weren't like
Nuno's come out.
They've both come out and said quite positive things about the situation. So I don't think there's anything major to be looking into it.
Yeah, but I didn't, sorry, Jack. I didn't see a referee around, official. Anyway.
Oh yeah, true.
It is quite zoomed in though. When you fully look at it, Nuno shakes the hand of whatever player it is that's there, and it looks like what's his name, Galeb, whatever his name is. The owner's walking past Nuno and then checks back
that's his name.
to have a conversation. But I don't feel that either way it makes any difference. Like this If it was a different owner, maybe. But this guy has literally gambled his own money to get Forest further up the table.
Which
And
is
if they've had a discussion and Nuno's not delivered, he's in his full right to have a conversation with him. He hasn't like
not
grabbed him
in
around the neck and started like beating him up on the pitch or anything. They're having a discussion.
But this is stuff that happens when you realize when you started it's dawning on you, you fucked it. This is the thing that happens when people are crumbling or you're on a downward spiral, you're under pressure. These are the daft things that happen to people.
But what we
Forest,
talking about? Deliver on what? Like he's delivered. Like
no, but if they've had a discussion a month ago.
A month, yeah.
And they've kind of had a discussion around the FA Cup and getting into the Champions League potentially. And they've had a discussion of how to go about things and what now needs to be done. And Nuno's not delivered. I get he's then going to be annoyed. And Forest fans who were all up in arms about it were the same Forest fans that were lauding this guy for spitting at a referee when decisions went against them and stupid stuff like that and being part of the Greek mafia, which is scaring referees into giving them decisions and all of that crap. But then when this happens, they're like, oh, no, it's a shambles. You shouldn't be doing it. Like, you can't have it both ways.
It's not on the pitch for the world to see, though. I would be embarrassed if that was my owner speaking to my manager. Like, I don't think...
I mean, it's allegedly... Sorry.
So in the Greek league, it's just commonplace for just anyone to get onto the pitch after it. Over here, he probably thinks it's just by the by. Whereas in this country, we're gonna have our handbags like that. Like
it's just a culture thing, and you're like, he stabbed him twice. It's a culture thing.
That's how it is in Greece.
Things get a bit crazy over there. Yeah. Like that is inappropriate.
I think they tried to play it down and say it was actually more to do with the fact that I think it was the one year who was injured because he basically like clattered into the post, even though the offside should have been given about 6 to 8 seconds before. But it's that rule change where, and basically in the end, instead of taking him off, they took Elliot Anderson off and then left, and then a one year came back on, but was clearly in no state to really be on. And I think, and Nuno's claiming that apparently the discussion was around that and not anything else. But you know, who knows?
Both have come out and said the same thing because the owner said something very similar to that as well. To be honest,
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because I don't see him going up to him on the pitch and being like, "Oh my days, you're failing to get us Champions League." Like on the pitch, like no, I don't see that. I see more of you should have took him off.
Okay, well, wasn't it? Anyway, it's neither here nor there. To be fair, right? Samir, are you ready?
I think so.
Are you prepared? Have you got all of your answers in line right now?
Kinda.
Right, let's roll into it. Samir and Arsenal are going into the... Right, Samir. This might sound weird, as we said. Samir and Arsenal are going into the spotlight failure. I mean, spotlight failure. We're going into the spotlight, but we're going to start here, as Samir has requested. Please explain to us why we are looking at a Hewlett-Packard Tottenham shirt. What is this all about for you as an Arsenal fan?
All right. So when I was, I think around 7 years old. So I'm literally getting into football. Like my dad, I grew up. My dad was a Man United fan in the household, but my best friend and like my other like friends around there was supporting Arsenal. So I'm looking. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with these lot, and I'm gonna support Arsenal. And so I've gone to my mum. Mum, I can't remember it explicitly, but like I remember saying to her, like, I think I want a football shirt. I don't remember going up to her and saying I want an Arsenal shirt. I said I want a football shirt. So my mum's come back a few weeks later, and she's got this. So Me not knowing what like the history and stuff, I don't know anything about. I didn't know about Tottenham at that time. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was Arsenal, Man United, and so my best friend Jordan, like he's an Arsenal fan, and his dad was an Arsenal fan. So his dad installed it like into him at a young age about Tottenham, about the history of Arsenal and all that. So I've come out with a shirt. I've gone to Jordan. I've gone, look, I've got a shirt, a football shirt. Jordan's gone to me. What the fuck? He's grabbed my shirt. He's grabbed my shirt. He's threw it on the floor. And I said, in my mind, I'm like, what the like? What's going on? Like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing my shirt on the floor? And he's like, that's Tottenham Hotspurs. We not like we can't support that team. They're our rivals. We hate them. And at that time, the only team I hated most, not hated, but like I was like, I didn't like them was Man United because they beat us in so what was it 1999 FA Cup semi final, and that was the first time I felt like heartbreak, and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't like this at all. So I'm just like, oh, like, I hate Man United. I didn't know nothing about Tottenham. So he's threw it on the floor. He's gone, yeah, we can't support this. I mean, you can't wear that shirt. We don't like this team. And then he goes to me, spit on the shirt. I was like, wait, what? He spit on the shirt. I was like, I said, I swear, he spat on the shirt, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I remember being a kid just so confused, and he was like, all right, cool, get a matchstick. I went to get a matchstick, and of course, it didn't there was no fire. And then in the end, I threw the shirt in the bin, and from that day, it taught me about Arsenal and Tottenham rivalry, which was
Your mum speaking to you still, or has she started speaking to you? Because my mum would full on hold that grudge forever.
Yeah, that would have been a generational beatdown if I
Yes.
gone out to a shirt my mum had just bought me.
100%.
I'd be told I'd have to get a refund on it despite the burns and the spit stains, or I ain't coming back through the front door again.
I really can't remember what happened after that, but I remember.
So you got beat up that bad that you got memory loss. Is that what happened?
It is also another good life lesson, not even related to football, but you didn't specify what football shirt.
Yeah.
So,
I reckon I did.
Wrong.
You know what? I got another theory. I had another theory. I reckon I did tell her Arsenal shirt. And then my mum's gone to the shop all confused. And then she probably said Arsenal, but then there's a Tottenham fan behind. She's like, yeah, your son might like this. And then he gave him the shirt. That's my other theory.
Maybe it was like Arsenal. Every time they lose, they bring out a new kit, and the Spurs one was probably on sale.
Yeah.
Well, literally.
Yeah. Back in the day, it probably
was getting cheap.
She went for the cheap.
Do you reckon your dad? Do you think your dad might have had anything to do with it, being a United fan? Seeing as like at the time that would have been like the big sort of like rivalry as well.
You know what?
Like, do you think he sort of like meddled a bit in it, or?
My dad was in the house, but I don't think he knew that I had the shirt. I don't. Yeah, because we never spoke on it, so I don't think he knew we had the shirt. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was gone that quick. It was like day one. I'm getting the shirt. It was day two. It was day one. She got it. I showed Jordan, and then on the floor, spit, throw it in the bin. And yeah, I don't think my mum asked me about it, or yeah.
That's mad. I can't even believe you've lived to tell that story, to be honest.
Oh man, I heard that. This is the first time. This is the first time.
I genuinely don't think you understand how much I fully mean it would have been a generational beatdown. Even just in my house.
Even just the request when you said I asked for a football shirt, and 2 weeks later you received one. I'm like, what? Was it your birthday 2 weeks later? Or you just asked for things and you received? No one should bought you a Tottenham shirt, you cheeky bastard. Like, well, you just request these things.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Can we also discuss the fact that we were talking that you said this was your first shirt, and you then referenced the '99 Cup final or Cup semi-final? What?
Yeah, I think that was the year. No, I'm talking about Man United when Man United beat us in the 1999 semi-final. I said I didn't know about Tottenham, but like my hatred was always towards United. That was the only team I knew because of that. Yeah, that 99 final.
I genuinely didn't realize you were that young.
I was young. Yeah. I was young.
That completely threw me off. I was like, what?
So just to clarify as well, was the shirt ever worn?
No, hell no. Not on my skin. Not on my skin. No, I held it. I held it. As soon as I got it, I held it and I showed him and he was like, nah, threw it on the floor. And yeah, that was the end of it.
Is that why Jordan's always giving you kits from the clubs he's at to make up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Before you go any further, can we also talk about the fact Jordan played for Tottenham?
Yeah.
Ooh, and you know what? Yeah. Hopefully he'll be on soon. So yeah. So we'll
we need to ask him about this.
Oh,
I hope it doesn't get out.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good story in that one as well, to be fair.
That's crazy. Hopefully we'll get him on and he can talk us through that one, because from that moment into the moment of actually being employed by the club is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how his dad felt. Like, I can't remember how his dad felt, but yeah. Because his dad was a strong Arsenal fan. Like, strong Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it's another one of them sort of winning the lottery references. It's
like
winning it, but you kind of sort of don't
You've got to share it with
but
someone.
you've won it. Yeah. You win it, and then 90 other people have won it at the same time.
There has to be a little asterisk next to the word enjoyment.
That's it. That is it. That is perfect.
Right. So from the Tottenham shirt to this one, which
lovely, yeah.
I'm a bit of a weirdo, and every time I see most football shirts, I attribute them to a player. So I attribute
Henry.
as this is a Gilberto Silva shirt for me for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I see that.
I'm not quite sure why, but I call this the Gilberto Silva Arsenal shirt.
Oh, yeah, I don't get why, but I do see that now because I didn't think that at the start. But I'm with Jack on that one. Mine is Henry because of the goal he scored against I think it's West Ham. It's like almost near halfway line. He's just whacked it, and that's the only goal I remember. But with this shirt, my story was this was actually my first ever shirt that I wore. My first ever football shirt that I wore with Henri on the back. Nah, my mum got me that one as well, and I'll never forget being a kid, running out the house, and same again, Jordan's outside, and I spun back and I just did this like to the back of my shirt that I had Henri, who's like my God, yeah. So that's
I thought you was going to say knee slide on the concrete. I was about to say you went in.
I got stories. I got stories about knee slides in the house. Not the concrete in the house.
Wait. So how has your mom gone from buying the wrong shirt to getting a shirt with the correct name on the back?
This was years later. So,
okay.
So she got that one right. Like, this is when I'm actually a deep like Arsenal fan now. So she understood. Like, this is because we had a rivalry in my house. Obviously, my dad was a United fan and I'm Arsenal, so she could see that now. Because before that, she only knew Man United. She didn't know anyone else. But now, yeah, she knows about Arsenal and Chelsea and stuff like that.
And just to clarify, just one question on that as well. I'm assuming your dad's never even been through Manchester, wasn't born here. No. Just the typical reason, yeah.
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 Even your mum knows more about football than him, and she didn't get the right shirt. So
I mean, she probably took the piss out of me. She probably played games.
Wait, so you've come in as an Arsenal fan, and you've pretty much only seen the good times, because buying that shirt must have led quite quickly into this moment.
This was first.
Wait, so this was before the Arsenal shirt.
This was before that the first Arsenal shirt, and I do remember this time. So the year before that, I think United won. So I got a story, and I missed. So I basically missed like the whole Premier League because I was in hospital for 6 months, and obviously didn't have football and stuff there. So I pretty much missed a whole season, and like I weren't really onto football that strong then. But when I come out, I remember reading books on how United won that year and stuff like that, and it hurt. And then obviously the following year we've gone and won the Premier League and the FA Cup against Chelsea. But my brother wasn't. Yeah, he was born. But he wasn't a Chelsea fan then. But yeah, I remember watching that FA Cup final. My mum, yeah, me and my mum, she took me to shopping. I wanted to watch this game, but she took me shopping. And Walthamstow Market, they had the game on in the shop. So while she was walking around like shopping stuff, I had like the game on the screen.
He's outside Dixon's.
Old school.
No, it was like a fruit market. I was like, not like the fruit shop. I was like, in there. Like she's getting all like ingredients and stuff like that. And guys, I felt like I watched the whole game. So that shows how long she was in there for. I watched the whole game, and I remember, that FA Cup final, just like the best times, man. Honestly, yeah. And but on the Premier League one, I didn't really watch too many Premier League because, like, in Sky in my house was like on and off, so we didn't really watch too many games. But I think everyone knows how we used to do it back in the day. Obviously, we used to be outside playing football, but we would run inside, press the red button, go on teletext, and see the results, and then that's it. I'm out, and then come back home and then watch Premiership. The Premiership on ITV. It weren't Match of the Day. It was Premiership.
Yeah.
It was Premiership. The Premiership was the one.
Mate, I literally used to watch teletext. Bro.
Oh yeah.
There was no in and out.
Yeah.
I would watch teletext and watch it go through, and you'd have one game on the radio. Maybe I'll be watching Guyver on VHS or something along them lines.
That's it.
Crazy
Bamboozle at half time.
Teletext was I like
Bamboozle.
Yes.
Like,
I remember that they'd have the video printer on teletext as well, so you could just be watching the TV and the video printer, and every time a goal would go in, just flash up on the bottom. It'd be wicked.
I say that. Sometimes you felt like, it pops up like there. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Teletext was the one. Teletext got me through my youth. Like when I weren't able to watch certain games, teletext, and then go back outside happy, or go back outside sad sometimes. But yeah. That was a big season. I think that because like I said, that was my first like time witnessing Arsenal winning the Premier League, and it felt good.
I think as well, you know what, on that FA Cup thing you just said there, I think that's like another reason that the daft football Twitter accounts or certainly non-UK football Twitter accounts, they don't realise the importance of the FA Cup because it felt like because basically everyone could watch it. Every fucking if you had a TV, you could watch the FA Cup final, all the 4 hours, 5 hour build up of it, all the stuff about the season, see loads of goals and clips about the season, which we've probably mostly seen obviously from watching the Premiership and that. But it was such an occasion because everyone could watch it. You know, no one I knew had Sky. I didn't have Sky. So, like you just said, like it was such a big occasion, wasn't it, the FA Cup, that people were stopping to watch it. And I think that's why it still holds a bit more than you would imagine in this day and age now of the way times have changed with football. It still does hold an importance because it was that opportunity to watch football that you didn't usually get. You know, parents could let you do it guilt-free. You know, they just let you just have free reign of it. Apart from you well, to be fair, you deserved it for the shirt incident. You're getting dragged around the market. But I still think that's why it has so much importance. Or it's not so much importance. It's definitely special, doesn't it? Because it reminds you of those times.
That's why I feel like for me, that FA Cup win at that time was kind of almost bigger than the Premier League win. Because I
feel closer to it.
Yeah, I feel more closer to witnessing the FA Cup than I did the Premier League at that time. And it was magic in them times, man. Honestly, I like you said, I think this day and age it's totally changed in terms of how everyone looks at it. Like it is the magic of the FA Cup, man. Honestly, that's why we probably
remember when they used to. Do you remember when they used to stand alone, where like teams would actually do a song
Yeah.
Like the teams that got to the final would have like an FA Cup final song and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's legitimately unique, and that, like it's just I feel like that's so badly missing from it today. But
Yeah.
Them songs were so crap. They were brilliant though. Like I used
exactly.
to love
Arsenal
them
did
songs.
hot stuff. Arsenal did hot stuff in like 99 or 98, weren't it? There was the Man United one.
Yeah.
Something like a red run through or something like that.
Mm.
Move. That was it. Oh,
We need to do we need to have a side topic like 1 week on like maybe next weekend when the final is, but like best like FA Cup songs, like go back and do a bit of a Google.
If we're doing songs, we've just got to do best football team songs because you can't
Yeah,
talk about
fair.
football team songs without World in Motion.
Oh, you know what? That's a good subject.
I won't allow it.
Yes, no, that's fair enough, man. That's fair
That's
enough.
a good subject. I like
we
that.
had to have Waddle and Hoddle, even though it wasn't related to football. They just had a pop career.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
we can even have Andy Cole
Might as
going in
well.
there.
Yeah.
And Righty done it as well, didn't he?
Right, back to you, Samir. The good times are still rolling.
Yeah.
Invincibles.
Ooh.
Now, this must have been a magic moment because it's sort of like never really. Well, it has happened before, but not in any of our lifetimes. Not happened again since. Special moment. Would you say, before we get into it, would you say that this team was better than the previous team that we just spoke about from a few years beforehand?
Yeah. Wait, say that again. Go on. Cut out.
Would you say that this team is better than the team we just spoke about previously? And I've just realised my screen's gone mad again. 1 sec.
Yeah, because nothing's come up.
Boom. There we go. It's switched now. I think it's switched now anyway.
Yeah.
But what team previously?
Would you say that this team, the Invincibles,
was better than that?
better than the double winners?
Yes. Oh, but it's pretty much similar.
It's similar, but there's at least a season between them, I believe.
Yeah. I don't think there was
David
too
Stevens
much.
not there, is he?
No, he is. Oh no, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He has Lehman, isn't it?
Yeah, he left. Yeah, he left last season. So I think David Seaman was missing. Tony Adams weren't there. Obviously the Invincibles. Invincibles was on a different level. Honestly, just watching them on a different level. Every team we came across, you just felt so confident we was going to win it, even though we drew 12 times. But like, you just felt like
you drew 12 times, didn't win any cups. Let's just skirt over that stuff. Why not?
Yeah, we drew 12 times, but still 0 losses. I'll be real with you. At that time, it I don't know. It felt weird. 0 losses in a season. Like it felt weird. Like no one's done this. And don't quote me on this, but the season before we lost to United. We lost out the league to United, and there was like a newspaper article where on the bottom left or right, whatever it was, and it said like Arsene Wenger said next season I'm gonna go the whole season undefeated, and he went on to actually do it. I don't think a lot of people know that at the time because obviously it was years ago, but to actually say it and do it, I don't think that's a bigger flex than what.
John's got his hand up.
Would you rather have got Invincible or have actually won the treble that year? You were proper close. You were really close in all of them.
This has been the biggest argument of my life. But I always change it. I always go, I'll be Invincible. I'll have treble. But that's a tough question.
If you wasn't an Arsenal fan, this wouldn't even be a discussion to be had.
Yeah, because you would go treble because come on, that's Champions League.
Any non-Arsenal fan goes treble winners.
But then,
unless someone else on the panel wants to go against me on that, I don't believe many football fans would go Invincible in the league and win nothing else over treble winners.
Yeah, you would, because I'd rather something no one else has ever done. Then
I'd rather 3 trophies in the same season, to be honest with you.
In the league, I'd rather something no one else has done. Like literally, they gave us a gold trophy. Like they gave us a small, tiny gold trophy. Like no one has that. Like in Premier League, Man City have a treble now. Obviously, it's years later. Man City have a treble, and United have a treble. So now they've got that to argue about. While we're sitting on this side with a gold trophy, like no one can come over here and talk and have an argument with us. Man United and Man City are arguing between the two, and us, we're just sitting over here thinking, okay.
So what you're saying is this is the best Premier League team we've ever seen?
No, I don't know, man. There's been some good teams though. In terms of the achievement, I think so. In terms of achievement, I honestly think so, because everyone's breaking records about goals and whatever, but nothing's bigger than going a whole season without losing. Like,
Yeah, but that is literally the only stat that you win on in that season, is that you had zero losses.
That's a big
You've
stat.
not got the most goals. You've not got the least goals conceded. You've not got the most wins. You've not got the most points.
No, but you're understanding, the goals are always going to get broken every year. It doesn't matter. Every 2 years or so, goals are always going to get broken. But you won't ever see anyone in our lifetime going the whole season undefeated in the Premier League. Not with the way the Premier League is moving right now.
What do you think's a bigger, like, this is more just a general question. What do you think's a bigger achievement in a league season? To not be defeated, and obviously that entails lots of draws, or to be a Centurion team and get 100 points?
Be undefeated. I am undefeated. At the end of the day, they won. They got 100 points, but still got silver. Like the trophy was silver. It wasn't gold.
And I think they got a different color as well. To be honest with you,
is it?
I think the Centurion's got a special color trophy as well.
I don't remember that. They should throw that in the bin because that's bullshit. That is bullshit.
But again, it's something else that no one's ever done.
I don't give a damn.
Just, like,
I don't give
obviously, I'm not.
100 points. I don't care about 100 points. You lost that season.
I'm not thinking that. I'm not thinking that Arsenal's achievement. I'm just saying, and I was just chucking it out.
No, I get it. If they got a different color than silver, then that's bullshit. They need to throw that in the bin because being invincible, the word invincible, I always say this.
The word
invincible is crazy.
You know what? I hate the word invincible for this team.
You hate it. Why?
Because invincible means literally like
you don't lose.
No, but you did.
We didn't lose.
In the league, he wasn't invincible. To me, an invincible team wins every game.
No, invincible team in the Premier League. We didn't say outside of that. We said in the Premier League.
You'd have to win. For me, invincible should be a team that wins every single game.
No, just don't lose. Just don't lose. It's about losing. We didn't lose. We didn't lose. That's it. Like nobody can sit. No one in the Premier League can sit here and say we done that. They could all have all these achievements and say, "Oh, we done this and done that," and argue amongst each other. But then we have this, where you can't even come over here. That's what I'm proud of when it comes to Arsenal. That's what I'm proud of. Like we sit on our own. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you haven't won the Champions League, then this that," but we always go. We got gold. We always.
Okay, right. So next.
Actually, here's a question.
Go on then.
Do you think this team, over a two-legged playoff, would beat City's Centurion team?
Oh, that would be such a good game, by the way.
I mean, look, you wouldn't have to fucking even advertise the tickets; they would sell. Let's be honest.
Oh, that would be such a good game.
You'd sell at cinemas if you can view it in the cinema. You'd sell at
wouldn't you? Who would just like that? That would be in the cinemas.
Mate, to be fair, this could be a whole nother
show
topic. We could pick like the 8 best teams.
One for one, player by player. Style, man. I mean, even the managers.
You could throw in like Mourinho's 15 goals conceded Chelsea and Man United's treble win and have a 4-team tournament in it. It could be crazy.
Yeah,
no, but that's
the tough to sell for tickets. That though.
All on one day. All games happen on one day. Semi-final, final.
Like the Emirates Cup.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, but if you look at who do they have? Did they have Sterling, Aguero, and Sané that year? I can't remember.
Well, Jesus scored the goal that won it, didn't they? I think.
Oh, then we won. As soon as you said that name,
I was there for that.
Yeah, we won. As soon as you said that name, Jesus, we won. You would have right down. We definitely won that game.
Yeah, it was Jesus that scored it.
Well, Kevin De Bruyne walked in that team.
I don't know about walks because we got Dennis. See, no, like Mitch said, this could be a discussion.
Yeah.
Who's about to get sucked in there?
Battle of the colours, and then the winner of that then gets another fucking colour. We're going to have colours and tints and
little work reference, Jack. It's like Bolster all over again. We need more colours.
Yeah. Might need different carrot. We're moving on to different carrots and grades now. Like, what else is left to mine?
If Fulham win it, we can make the trophy out of polonium or something.
Yeah.
Right, it's not all positive stuff, although getting there is an achievement.
Stade de France looking picture perfect.
You got the video?
Yeah.
That's nasty work.
Let's talk us through it. It only goes on for a minute or so.
I've not watched this video since we lost. It's nasty work.
Against Frank Rijkaard.
Mitch, didn't we have a party around your house watching this?
There you go. The sound's off now, but
Thank you.
We'll keep going through it.
No, that's nasty work, Mitch. That's nasty work. I was about to.
Right, Samir, you wanted to talk about it. Talk us through that Champions League final.
Oh my god. Okay, so the day before, I'm in school, and a few of you guys know Nick Harris. Nick Harris is like, he was in my school in my year. We had a £1 bet, and I was like, yeah, that Arsenal was gonna win. So I lost that. That's a side story. So the night watching this game, we've gone down to 10 men, obviously, heartbroken. I'm thinking, fuck, game's done. We've gone 1-0 up, and literally, like, so I'm watching the game upstairs. My dad and my brother, who are Man United and Chelsea fans, haters, watching it downstairs. So when Sol Campbell scored, I sprinted down the stairs. Didn't even go to them. I ran out my house, ran like the whole road, screaming, "Yeah!" Stocks, I don't know how you didn't hear me. Yeah!
Stocky was at my house. That's why.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't hear us, Samir, because it was.
So I'm running down the whole road like we won. By the way, this is the first half. So I ran the whole road. Yeah, Champions League, we won. Come back inside, run up the stairs. Didn't even go, like I said, didn't go to my brother or my dad. Just went upstairs, went back to watch the game. So fast forward, second half, Eto scores. All you hear is dum 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 dum. My brother and my dad running up the stairs, open the door. Your face! I couldn't say nothing. I was like, it's only 1-1. I'm like, whatever. They come back down the stairs. All right, I'm watching the game. They scored 2-1. Don't. It got louder this time. Don't. And but they ran up the stairs, pushed the door open, jumped on me. Yeah, you're losing. Yeah, this, that. And I was just like, I was so heartbroken. Words couldn't even come out of my mouth. Like, I was just like, nah. Like, I was heartbroken. Thinking about, oh shit, we lost, and thinking about, shit, I got to pay Nick Harris £1. Which, by the way, I never paid. But
I'm going to tag him in this when I post the clip now. So he's going to come for his pound, I'm telling you.
I'd never paid that £1. I was so heartbroken, I wouldn't give him shit. But yeah, that was one of the worst days of my life. And I've never, like, you'd see, like, when YouTube was new, you would see, Arsenal versus Barcelona, click on this. I was like, fuck that, I'm not watching that. So imagine 2025, I have not watched that video back, and Mitch just done that. I can't believe it, Mitch.
I'd apologise, but...
Nah, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up.
He watches it on repeat as well, mate.
That's it, just got it on loop. I just watch that slide over and over again. When I'm having a nightmare, I just put it on to soothe my pain, so I can go to sleep.
Honestly, the worst, man. Just being so close, and then it just all fell apart.
Fair enough. To be fair, since then, that's kind of been the Arsenal way, is it not?
Yes, 8 years of not winning shit. No, it's from that. It's from that year. So the year before, we won the FA Cup against United. The shittest draw ever, and then Champions League final, and then 8 years without winning shit, and that hurt.
To be fair. Okay. Next one I want to go to. I want to talk about this man.
Nah,
You
yeah,
can't talk about any version of Arsenal without talking about this man.
yeah.
As much as you're a young buck and you don't really know much else other than this man,
Mm.
he did, for the older ones in the group, he did basically transform Arsenal from a decent English side into a proper top draw English side. But I know it got a bit sour at the end.
Yeah,
But just talk to us a bit about Arsene Wenger.
man. Honestly, one of the greatest managers of all time, of course, and what he had to deal with, like in terms of like not having too much money. Obviously, when we had to build the stadium, we're in debt, so we're not really spending a lot. I look at this man and I think, right, like he did so well without having to spend like the big bucks. Like like we didn't break our transfer record up until so we broke our transfer record for what was it? I think it was like 9.7 mil. I can't remember. I think was it Wiltord? I think it was Wiltord or someone. I can't remember who it was. No, Reyes. It was Reyes. No, Reyes was 12 mil. So Reyes was 12 mil, and around this time you've got United spending 30 mil on Rio. You've got all these other teams spending quite a few bucks. But with Arsene Wenger, he would go to like France and get someone for 2 mil and then turn them into something. He would go to whoever, wherever, and just like get that person, turn them into a star. And he'll get someone from like the youths in like Barcelona and try things. I think the only ones to really come out of that was Cesc Fabregas. But like he will try things like that, and I don't think too many managers were doing that. Maybe Ferguson, if I'm wrong, but like he's the only one I see actually get these like average players and actually turn them into like good players. And I don't think too many managers, especially today, go out there and do that. I think if it weren't for the money that Man United have, I think he would have dominated for years to come, for years and years and years to come. So like, yeah, top two all time for me. I know you lot like to talk about Mourinho and Pep and stuff like that. But I just look at them. I think without the money, what are they? Let's be real. Without the money, what are they? Like Arsene Wenger showed you, I can do it without the money. Like back to the transfer record. So we didn't break. We signed Reyes in like 2004, and then we didn't break our transfer market. I mean, our transfer to about 2009. I think that was Arshavin, and that was still only 16 mil or some shit like that. So we weren't going out making big deals. And yeah, and I respect him for that. I respect him. Like you said, Mitch, it did get sour towards the end. I just thought just age and stuff like that. He weren't really keeping up with the times. Like
Yeah,
football was changing.
kind of get what you're saying, but you did still spend like decent money for the time on certain players.
Yeah, but
Like
I've
you spent nearly 15 million on Van Bronckhorst as a fullback in the early 2000s. Henri
15 mil.
wasn't cheap. Sylvain
15 mil.
Filton, yeah.
Nah, that can't be right. 15 mil. We
That's
weren't
what it
spending
said.
above that.
This is what it's saying to me. And then you've got Sylvain Walter, 2000, 17.5.
No, that's fake. That's
Thierry
fake.
Henry, 16.1.
That is definitely fake. These lot were below 10 mil. That's
Are
definitely
they,
fake.
are they inflation adjusted?
That's definitely
It
fake.
might actually be euros, but I don't know.
Yeah, it might because we didn't break our transfer market up until Arshavin. That was in 2009, and that was 16 point something mil.
16.5, yeah? Well,
I
that's
think
the exact figure that it's got for Arshavin on here. So if that's right,
that's what I said.
the
Yeah.
rest of them are
So
potentially right.
he's
So it's
got
telling me Wiltord cost more than Arshavin.
hell no, hell no, definitely not. What to be on the bench?
Francis Jeffers, 2001 was big money.
Richard
9
Wright
mil?
was expensive at the time.
He still
9
spent a
mil?
decent amount of money, to be fair.
Yeah,
Reyes, 2004, big
that's what I
money.
said. I said we didn't break the transfer record up until Reyes,
And
but
then
we
late on, he spent loads.
late
Late
on.
on, he spent loads.
Yeah,
Callum
but that's,
Chambers, Mkhitaryan, Mustafi, Sanchez, Xhaka, Ozil, Lacazette, and Aubameyang.
yeah,
That is your top 8 most expensive signings under Wenger.
Yeah, late on he spent, but you imagine these lot have been spending. That's what Arsenal always. We're still in that situation right now. We're trying to keep up with the ones that've been spending. Like we weren't spending, we weren't ahead. Like in terms of transfers, like we're trying to keep up with these lot because Arsene Wenger, at a point, held us back in terms of not even Arsene Wenger. Sorry, the club held us back in terms of like spending money. There was a time where we were struggling to spend money. We were like, please buy some players, and we couldn't. So then you've got City coming in. Then United are still spending. Chelsea, oh my God, Chelsea in 04, 05 came in and just spent everywhere. And we were just like, what the hell is this? They're spending 20 million here, 20 million there. We didn't even know what 20 million was at that time. It was like, please, like, can we keep up with that? And then, funny enough, Chelsea won the league the year after that. So
Yeah.
I don't. There's like with that what you said about these transfers. I don't think they're real because I remember the struggle. I remember how we could not break records. And like I said, United already spent 30 million on Rio Ferdinand. Look how he turned out. Like we knew who Rio was before Man United. Arsene Wenger would go to God knows where and get whoever, and then we have to wait for that person to come to like progress. Not even that year, the year after, because we signed Henry. Henry wasn't the greatest when we signed in the first season. Second season, bang. Like that's what he did. We didn't sign players to like. Oh, here you go off the bat.
I would dispute that with one man.
Too many players. Sorry, we
I
didn't
would
sign
dispute that with one man. Let's talk about this man here. Again, my screen's gone mad. Here we go. This guy.
Dennis.
Now,
yeah.
this guy is probably one of my favorite Premier League players ever.
Every non-Arsenal fan say that. Every non-Arsenal fan.
He's a joke. He was a joke. And alongside Wenger, who we've just spoken about, is one of the biggest catalysts to change in Arsenal from being a decent Premier League side to being a proper top-tier Premier League side. So what are your early memories of this man?
Oh, my early memories is just like I said, I think we spoke about this on the pod before, just the link up between him and Henry was just like ridiculous. But obviously you ain't getting some of these Henry goals without Dennis. Like he would do the unbelievable. Like you'd think, you see how we're looking at these players today and they do these certain passes, we're like, wow. I think Dennis was ahead of his time, in the Premier League at least. Like finding these through balls and stuff like that. So I look at the types of like players like Cesc Fabregas who were around when he was around. And they probably looked at him and thinking, shit, like, I'm like, I've got to be just like that. But yeah, I think he was the first. Was there? I don't remember. Was there too many like second strikers around them times? I remember.
Yeah, there was a few.
But none of them really stood out like Bergkamp did. I'd say.
You could argue when Man United had another main striker, Cantona did. Teddy Sheringham did a fair amount. Matt Letizia, yeah. Peter Beardsley. There was a few.
Yeah. But like everyone always said.
They were strikers then, though. They weren't number 10s. They were just strikers.
Yeah, but they were like, if you look, but it's probably a little bit revolutionary or whatever the hell you call it when you're looking back on something and changing the way it was. You would still say you still had like a main number 9 when you talk about these players. They'd never played alongside. They played just off at all times.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them guys.
Yeah.
Jules and Cole were like 2 strikers.
2 strikers, yeah. But I don't think
if you changed it to a Cole and Sheringham, you always knew that Sheringham played off just a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't think Dennis was a striker compared to the other two. He was always more creative than actually scoring goals. I'd say in that sense.
He could have played centre-back as well, though. He could have just done... He was so big and strong, he could have just played any position he really wanted, couldn't he, really?
Yeah. 100%. He could have been a little bit like... Ruud Gullit. Yeah. I remember listening to an interview with Ruud Gullit, and he literally just played everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere he was asked to play and he was mastered. I think Dennis Bergkamp could have been one of them guys that throughout his career you could have just asked him to do a job and he would have been probably one of the best players in that position at the time.
Yeah, but I don't know about centre back though. That's a bit much. That's a bit much.
It's just so classic. But what I'm saying is, he was big. He was strong, wasn't he?
I get that.
Strong, good touch, read the game well.
At all, was he? Like, he really handled himself, and like he was. But he's just a Rolls Royce, wasn't
he?
Yeah. But the what I do remember most about him is how we never used to travel to away Champions League games because he hated.
Didn't like flying, did he? Didn't like flying.
That's mad, you know. Huh? He did not like playing. Yeah. Nah, but Dennis is one of the goats, man. One of the goats.
Okay, you've said the word, so we're going to roll into your goat.
Ooh. My goat, man.
This is your goat. Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Probably the poster boy of the Premier League in his pomp, to be fair. He was the guy that was on the games. He was on most of the Premier League posters. He was getting like top scorer awards year after year, most assists in certain years. Good to have him at your club.
No, of course, man. We've not had anything close to Henry.
To be fair, I don't think many teams have had anything that close to Thierry Henry.
Of course. You always hope, like, come on, here's the next. Remember Theo Walcott is the next.
No. But like, people chuck the term of generational around.
Yeah.
Way too much. Like, Thierry Henry at Arsenal was a generational talent.
Yes.
He's one of one. You don't have another Thierry Henry come back and go back around again. People compare Isak to Thierry Henry. It's not the same.
It's not the same. No.
It's not the same. He was built different.
Yeah, it's like him being a coach. People look at him to like teach them exactly what he did, and I don't think that's teachable. It just comes naturally, and I don't think Henry can go teach someone how to finish and put the ball in the box and stuff like that. It's just not. It comes naturally.
I think the thing that you can't teach that Thierry Henry had was the aura.
Oh yeah, confidence. All that. Yeah, that's true.
The confidence to be who he was, to do what he did, that put fear into teams just standing next to him in the tunnel.
Yeah,
like not many players have that. You might have a similar level of talent. But to put that fear into other teams before you've even stepped on the pitch is something that very few footballers have.
Yeah,
it's the closest you could get to him.
Yeah,
I think we need. Remember, like we did with Kevin De Bruyne. We need a spotlight on this guy. We need to just have a whole conversation on this guy because what he's done in the Premier League and like in history. Look at the amount of stuff he's holding. It's like you said, Mitch. Year in, year out, he won the Golden Boot, and I don't know too many people who do that in this age. Haaland's not top scorer this year. Okay,
no, not even second.
Well, he won 2, so it's close enough. But with Henry, I just thought like with my childhood, it was like I remember seeing this. It was like on Invincible's documentary. I remember seeing Wenger saying he was like, when we used to be like 1-0 down, he would look at Henry and be like, "Hey, like get us out of trouble." And that's exactly how it felt. Like there weren't too many times where we were in trouble, but like there was times where you felt like shit, like we don't want to lose this. You look at Henry and he'll get us out of that. And that was made me fall in love with a football player in Henry. And that's why he's my
I think the one game that stands out for what you were just describing there is I remember it was in the Invincible season, and I think you may have just come off the back of going out to like Chelsea and losing the semi-final to United. It's the Liverpool game at Highbury.
Yeah.
And you're 2-1 down, and Henry just does a madness in the second half. And he's like, it honestly probably is one of the best individual like match-winning performances of like the Premier League era.
Exactly. He just ran like it was like from like the halfway line. It's just like he just made it look so freaking easy, but it wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't. And like I like listening to former players who say who was the like who is the like the player you hated playing, and like 9 out of 10, most of them are saying Thierry Henry, and I'm not surprised by that. Like I am not surprised that he tormented one of the goals. So when I said I missed one of the seasons, so the season I missed was with that goal we scored against United. If you don't remember, and he's
Oh, the one from the
what?
throw-in, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop. I had to, like, from a young age, see that goal back, and I was like, no, how did I miss this? Like, live. How did I miss this live? Because
Wait, can I ask where you was in hospital? Was you like, didn't you have a TV or nothing? What? I'm confused of how you missed a whole Premier League season being in hospital in the 2000s.
Yeah, well, hey, we didn't have Sky in the hospital. We didn't have Sky up in there.
BBC One, bro. Match of the day
Ah,
was the
bro.
thing, man.
No, I didn't know about that back then. I didn't know too much about it back then. So, like football completely went when I'm in hospital. Like I'm in hospital for 6 months, bro. Like everything just went out of my head. The only thing I lived on was on Digimon. That's the only thing. Digimon and ITV. The only
Remember
thing I lived
Pokemon, just Digimon.
it was Digimon, man. It was Digimon. That's the
Quality.
only thing I lived off.
What a reference.
That was the only thing. But yeah, in terms of football, it's completely like out of my mind in times. And I've missed pretty much the whole season. And yeah, missing that goal, it hurts so much because seeing that live is just like, wow, I don't know too many better goals than that. Like, it just shows you who the guy was, man. To flick it up like that and just whack it. Nah. Against Man United. Whew. No, sorry. But yeah, man, this my goat, man. Fuck Messi. This my goat, man.
Bro, Messi's just catching strays for no reason, bro.
that's number two. That's number
There
two.
was no need for
That's
that.
number two, man. This guy is a monster. I don't know how you lot felt because growing up, like not even growing up. Sorry, I mean like in the last few years, I think not too many people are respecting him. But like we all lived it at that time. It was all about Henry. Every season, it was all about Henry. So we know, like, what he did, like, and he was a monster. So I don't know how you lot, like, how you lot looked at Henry around them times, but speak on it.
My favourite player in the Premier era, I would say. It's very strange actually because I think now, like obviously, we've had the whole like Messi Ronaldo debate,
Yeah.
and because I think that there's like a whole other generation that's growing up with that.
Mm.
Thierry Henry. So I suppose when you describe like great players from like the '80s and stuff, like I'm not going to be able to tell you about it, but like we didn't live it, but it's weird now. So I think like social media has made it different. Like branding has made it completely different. Like like in the job that I do, like I sometimes say to kids like, "Who do you support?" And like thinking they're going to come back with a team, and they'll go Messi. Sorry, what? And it's like that weirds me out, like beyond belief. But it's like it's gotten to a point now where sort of like there's I think there's been such a I guess like Henri's probably been forgotten because there's been such like a global branding fascination over those two.
Yeah, of course, and that's always going to happen. I get that, but I feel like I'm talking to people close to our age. Like I look at them and I think they're talking down on the GOAT, and I'm thinking you were there seeing this like week in week out. He was scoring goals against you. He was.
Samir, it's different. It's different when he's battering your team like 2 times a year. We're just glad to see it.
That's what I wanted to hear.
He was a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah,
because I don't think anyone was remotely as quick as him at the time.
Yeah. And
on top of that, being really good at football.
Maybe Owen.
It wasn't. Yeah, we was just glad to see the back of him. You couldn't really enjoy it as he keeps rubbing your team's face in the dirt.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. He hurt a lot of teams. But...
Do you know what? It's fun though when you're in the pub and say if you, like people tell me that people that go in the pub about 5 o'clock after work, if they've got Sky Sports on, they'll have like the 100 goals thing on Premier League. And then you'll sit there and you'll see Henry's goals and you go, yeah, I'm going to
my days. Oh my days.
I'm going to sit here and watch this that kind of. You appreciate him more there because at the time, he was just like, he just had you at his will. So now you can enjoy it when you watch it back. At the time,
I
it
can't
was
even
great
say that I can enjoy it then because every fifth goal is against Newcastle, no matter whose compilation you're watching. It's like, we're just featuring all of these so often. Like Matt Letizia ones come on, and I love Matt Letizia, but I already know I'm
listen.
going to see like 9 goals against Newcastle. It could have
He
been
loved Newcastle.
Man, he loved everyone. He had goals against United here and then. He had goals against Tottenham. He loved everyone, man.
Oh,
Actually, you know what? I genuinely cannot remember one specific Henry goal against Newcastle.
He scored one free kick. I think that was towards
The only Arsenal goal against Newcastle I remember is Bergkamp against Dabizas.
What's the one Henry goal that comes to mind when you think like what's the first one that would come to mind?
you know the one where he goes to take the free kick and the ref stops it. Then he goes and takes it again and he turns around and goes,
No, Wigan.
Good enough. Good
Wigan.
enough.
Wigan.
Is it Wigan?
Yeah, Wigan. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Oh,
and he goes,
Good
is
enough.
that, oh God, that's just rude.
Good enough.
man.
Samir said Aura earlier on, that's what I thought. And also the one against Tottenham where he just run through the whole side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'd say. The Spurs one.
Nah, for me, even though I didn't get to watch it live, it's the United one when he's flicked it up, and I don't think you can get better quality than that, man. He's flicked it and whacked it against United. I know it's who is it? Fabian Barthez in goal, but still, I don't goal.
Also the back hill through the Charlton defence.
I was gonna say,
Do you know what the one comes to mind for me? Liverpool.
The halfway line.
Nah, he does. He goes on a little jinky run and he beats 3 or 4 players on the edge of the box and then flips it bottom corner.
Yeah.
Actually, slight amendment. Got to go Europe in that hat trick in the Bernabeu.
No, Inter Milan.
Yeah. Inter.
I think of the one. I think of the one of.
He did score a crucial one at the Bernabeu, though. It wasn't a hat trick.
It wasn't a hat trick.
He barged off Ronaldo.
Our mistake.
Ran through. Scored.
Yeah, I feel like they won one. They beat Real Madrid 1-0 in the
That's
Bernabeu.
the same game where it's the clip of him and he runs into the corner and like wins a throw-in right down in the attacking corner and just strolls off.
That's been on Twitter this week, hasn't it? Because they were saying that Barcelona and Yamal should have done what Henry did at the end of that game.
Yeah.
And they'd be through right now, but they didn't, did they?
No.
The bet would still be intact.
Actually, it would have survived another 24 hours.
Would have survived 24 hours, Fiorentina going out, and then that would have been done.
Yeah.
Right, I have one more person for you to talk on because it feeds from a similar era into today.
Oh, we got
Arsenal player, current manager, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
First of all,
yeah.
As a player, did you ever imagine he would come back as a manager and be semi-successful-ish?
No. I didn't even want it. I said no. I was like, no, go for Carlo Ancelotti, which ain't a bad shout. Like, it's not a bad shout. And then Carlo's gone to Everton and we got him. It's like, it wasn't a bad shout at the time. I reckon we probably would have won with Carlo. Nah, I don't even reckon. I know we would have won with Carlo Ancelotti. But, I don't... With Arteta, it's different, man. I just feel like, in a way, he's still kind of like learning. I know it's been 5 years and stuff, but he's come from being a coach behind Pep. And everyone looks at him with that, like, why do you have that arrogance and stuff like that? But I look at it as in, he had to sit on the bench next to Pep and watch everything he did. Everything he did. So he's trying to bring that standard to Arsenal. Like, arrogance will get you far. Like, we spoke about Henry. Like, he had that arrogance. Like, in a sense. He had the arrogance to just, like, it helps you win. Like, and I feel like with him, he just wants to instill that into the players, man. I just feel like with Arteta, like, he's a great manager. He is a great manager. He just needs better players. And that's what he pretty much said today. Like, if anyone saw the interviews, he pretty much said the players were shit.
Wow.
Which everyone said.
Why is it when I say that, everybody wants to argue with me?
But that the players are shit.
That your players are shit.
The players are shit. The players are fucking shit.
How? You've got a very good squad, and you keep buying players. They can't all be shit. You eventually have to accept that maybe the guy that's controlling these players isn't the guy.
No, because
At some point, you're going to have to accept that.
I feel like if you looked at our injuries, if you looked at like everything that went against us in terms of like red cards, and I like admit some of them were obviously our fault. We haven't really crumbled. I feel like fans nowadays make it look like we've crumbled. Like we're second. We're in the semi-final of a Champions League. Why is everyone making that look bad? Because if that was anyone else in the league, we're like, wow, amazing season. We looked at Villa. Villa got to the quarterfinals. Everyone's like, oh, unlucky Villa. And I get it. It's Aston Villa. Like standards are much different. Like, but if you look at Arsenal 5-6 years ago, we couldn't get past the flipping last 16. Like every year we got laughed at for not getting past the last 16. Last season he took us to the quarters. This season he's taken us to the semis. And granted, we're still second, but last season we were closer, and the season before was much closer. But the season before that, we weren't meant to even be here. Like we finished, what was it? It was like 6th. And
so
then
under Arteta, you finished 8th, 5th, 2nd, and then whatever happens for the rest of this season.
This season, yeah. And like no one realizes we're going up against a flipping monster team in Man City. Everyone keeps.
Okay. No, I wasn't going to stop you at all there until that point. But last season, yes. The season before, yes. This season, not so much. Liverpool are not setting a ridiculous target at the minute.
No, yeah, this season,
and you're nowhere near.
No, I get it. In this season, it's totally different. Well, we've come into this season thinking because of the last season, we had everyone fit throughout. We didn't have too many big injuries. We've come into it thinking if we have a whole squad, like City is not going to win it for a 5th time in a row. It's going to be us. So we started the season. We signed Moreno. Moreno's injured for 2 months. Calafiori's injured for a amount of time. And like it wasn't a good start. And then Odegaard was injured for about 3 months. And then all these injuries just can't come in. In the second half of the season, Saka's injured for 3 months. Martinelli's out for 3 months. Havertz is out for a whole season. Jesus is out for a whole season. That's our striker again. Gabriel and stuff. So I look at that and I think if that was any team from top to bottom in our league, you're all crumbling down to at least 8th. At least 8th. I reckon so. I totally believe that. And if that was Liverpool ain't winning the league. If Salah's out for 3 months, Liverpool ain't winning the league. If Van Dijk's out for a season, Liverpool ain't winning the league. Like, so I give him credit in that term. Like, we didn't completely like fall off. And to be fair, the season ain't done. We could finish 3rd. But is that the end of the world? No. It ain't the end of the world. The end of the world is finishing outside top 4 or even 4th. But I just don't like the way everyone's looking. Everyone's made our season look so fucking shit. It's bad.
Like, you still might finish 4th though, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we finish 4th, then yeah, that's bad. But I feel like
I think some of it. But I just feel like some of it is because City have had that season that no one saw City having.
Yeah,
and it's like I think it just looks like it's a lost opportunity, right?
No, of course. But no one expected that from Liverpool. We were all looking at that thinking Liverpool are going to drop off anytime soon. But then, like I said, the key parts are December, January, February, and March. And I think that's the key months when you're chasing the title. So we've lost Saka around the times. We've lost Havertz and we've lost Jesus, who I don't really rate anyway. But, like, you need players. Anything is better than Moreno up front. Like, and we still came out with a few results. We beat Real Madrid, got to the. No one gives us credit for that, though. That's the thing. Everyone looked at us and said to us, coming up against Real Madrid, Gabriel is out. Oh shit, these lot are fucked. Only Moreno up front and Kivior at centre back, and we have no one. Everyone always forgets about Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's an 18-year-old. Half a season. He didn't play a full season. He played half a season playing left back in all these big games. And I think that's pretty much catching up to him right now. Like, I don't know too many players at that age playing in Champions League semi-final, only starting halfway through the season. So no one really gives us credit for certain stuff like that. Everyone always looks at the negative. Oh, we didn't win the league. Oh my days, your shit. What the hell? What happened to that? We we used to struggle to even get in the top 4. Like we were getting grilled for that. And yeah, so I just look at him. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think he needs just a few more stuff, and then I think we can win a lot of stuff with him, with Arteta. I truly believe that.
If Spurs win the Europa League, who's had a better season?
I hate that question. I hate that fucking question.
No, I know, but
it's a very good fucking question. No, to be fair.
No, because it's stupid. Like I said this earlier, I'm like, okay, you've won a trophy, but look at your league position. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I get that. I get that. In the league, you've had a better season. But at the end of the day,
they've had a bigger season.
At the end of the day, achievements-wise, at the end of the season, you're going to turn around and say, we qualified for the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to turn around and say, we won the Europa League and qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
And you reset to next season, and you're on exactly the same playing field.
Okay.
So who has had a better season?
So if we just put out like records and like past wins and stuff like that, are we allowed
no, but if you take all of the nuances away from it and you look at the raw fact that you have no trophy and you've qualified for the Champions League, and they would have a trophy and would have qualified for the Champions League.
Like I said, they can come for us, but I'm going for Man United. They can come for us. I'm going straight to Man United.
Yeah, you are right.
Finishing 17th or 16th. So I don't care. It's a win-win for me. Like,
it's a fantastic way not to answer the question.
Another question then, yeah? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So I can flip it the other way.
So next season, you come second, yeah? Let's say you come second by a point. You come second by a point and you win no trophies again. What?
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, is that he needs a trophy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he needs to win something next season.
So he can evidence a form of process. You are right. Yeah. There is clearly progression that appears to be happening, but without that trophy, you can't go another. You can't keep back trying to make the same claims, can you?
No, of course not. I thought this could have possibly been his last season if he didn't win anything. I really did. I was just like going into it. I was like, he has to win something this season. But then I looked at like what we had to go through in terms of like referees and stuff. Like I know everyone is like, oh, I think we're making excuses and stuff. But I'm gonna go back, and talk to Mitch. I'm gonna talk to Mitch. Mitch, don't through your hands. I'm gonna talk to you.
Talk to me,
especially you.
Come on. Let's have it.
In the last 2 weeks, I've been watching you and the other pod. You've had our backs. You've had our backs with 2 decisions. You've had our backs.
Which one?
Yeah. You were the only one that was like, wait, this is clear as hell. Like it's a pen. And
No. Wait. Let's roll back to that decision. In my final assessment of that decision, it was handball. But if they gave the handball, they should have given a pen anyway. Because Odegaard's fouling him before he handballs it. So let's not pretend that I tried to say it shouldn't have been a goal and nothing should have happened.
Wait, hold on. So did Odegaard grab him, but he didn't get grabbed back?
Odegaard's not looking at the ball and he's rugby tackling the man. It's a penalty, man. Let's not do this.
I'm sorry, but are you getting grabbed? How are you meant to go look at the ball while you're getting grabbed?
I just thought I would defend my stance on that decision.
Like he's going down and he's grabbing Odegaard. Like what are you meant to be doing? Looking at the ball still? Like, nah, it's not possible. So you had our back with that one. And the week before that with the Brentford one, where the guy pretty much 2-footed I think it's Martinelli. Well, you said that should have been a red.
Oh yeah, the guy that plays in the middle, the mixed race done that plays in centre mid.
Exactly. So you were clear about them last 2 decisions. Now imagine us for the whole season. Now you've seen, imagine us for the whole season thinking we're getting a red card because Declan Rice tapped the ball to a little bit to the right.
I agree that should have been a red card.
Not blasting the ball. He's just like
doesn't matter. This is
one thing. Restarting of the game.
This is one thing you need to understand. It's not kicking the ball away. It's directly delaying the restart of the game.
He got clamped And the
No. He got clamped because the guy was looking to take the free kick quickly and he kicked the ball away.
No, but he's just like it's like an inch to the right, an
Oh,
inch, and the referee didn't even fucking see that. The referee
Clearly did because he gave him a booking. But why are we talking about this? By
It
the
was
way,
VAR, though. It was on VAR.
It's because after putting a coherent point about how well Arteta's progressed, he's
No,
following
but
Arteta's thing.
I will always,
Yeah.
Like refereeing
I will
decisions.
always bring it back to decisions this season. I always will, always, because
Well, that's why
certain decisions I look at and I think, like, come on.
See,
Like-
now this is what we're discussing now is why I believe Arteta's not the guy.
Why is
Because
that
he's
not-
got all of your players and all of your fan base believing in this defeatist, they're all against us, woe is me mentality. That's
No.
not a thing to do. Like
No.
teams that go out and win stuff do not have that mentality about them. And Arteta has instilled it. For
He
me,
has.
one, he's too petulant, and that breeds into the players. Two, he is a very complete manager in the aspect that he can coach a team to do pretty much every aspect of the game, but he chooses the wrong coaching method in the key moments.
I agree. You said that.
So they're the two things that will massively hinder him going from being a very good Premier League manager that can get a team to compete in to beating the other best managers in the world and win the major trophies.
Yeah, but see the. So I'll go back to the red card that you had today with Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
So we, as Arsenal fans, look at that and think if anyone was to do that to that, they will just move on. Like they will just move on.
No, but they wouldn't.
Yes, they freaking would.
They
Yes,
not,
they would.
Samir.
Did Saka not get choked out today?
I genuinely haven't seen that. I've seen a picture of it. The picture tells one story. The video might tell
Yeah, it is just.
I
a
haven't
picture,
seen
but
it in a video.
to have a man like you said with Odegaard, he could have given a penalty for that. A guy had two hands on Saka's neck, and I'm not even asking for a pen there. I'm not saying that. I'm just going off like stuff that's been gone against us. So I want like consistency. That's all we want.
Okay.
That's all I ask for, and I know a lot of you can agree. Some stuff haven't gone our way, and we've looked at that and thought.
Yeah, but stuff goes against every single team, man. That's not a reason for you to know. Wait. Okay. Let's look at this from a different angle. Who knocked you out the FA Cup?
United.
Did anything go against you in that game?
No.
Okay. Who knocked you out the League Cup?
You.
Did anything go against you in them two
No,
games?
didn't complain.
Who knocked you out the Champions League?
PSG.
Did anything go against you in them games?
Could have had a pen. I'm joking. I didn't see the replay.
So
gone down, I didn't see the replay.
Your whole thing about decisions have cost you this season is completely irrelevant because the 3 cups you've gone out of had
Yeah, but
nothing against decisions. And the
about
decisions that you think may have gone against you in the league are not making up 18 points or whatever the hell the gap is right
now. Of course not. But
it's not the reason that you've not won anything this season. The reason you just haven't been good enough.
It's a downer. Like we're getting red cards for something that's not meant to be like certain red cards, of course, but like with certain red cards, I feel like I've watched like we don't with us Arsenal fans, we don't base it off ourselves. We base it off other people's reactions. And I've seen tweets and I've seen people on TV saying countless times, no, that shouldn't have been a red. No, he shouldn't have done that. This ain't based off what we're saying. I'm basing it off what other people are saying. And like I said, with you on your last, like you on another show, the last 2 decisions were like that. And you know what? We didn't even complain about that. The season was done. We just let that go. We're just like, we've had enough. Like in terms of being an Arsenal fan, we've had enough because of decisions like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, we don't base it off us. We base it off what we hear on TV. It's not Arteta. It's not like what's that show on Sky Sports News where they have Dermot? Oh my days! Countless times, no. Countless times.
I've actually never watched RefWatch, to be honest.
No, I just see it on Twitter. I see it on Twitter.
I always mean to try and find it because it just seems like it's not even an actual show. They just make like a 2-minute clip, and that's all I ever see. I actually want to see if this is a proper show on TV. I need to find what it's on.
No, honestly, they get
order on it, so I wouldn't rush to watch it, mate.
You get one biased referee who always has to like back his ref, but then you can see in his face is like he doesn't want to answer. He's like, oh, no.
Cool. What I want to ask you one more question before we wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So, if you can carry Arteta into next season and you go again,
Yeah.
or you can pick any other manager in world football. What are you doing?
David Moyes. David Moyes.
Oh shit! Did you hear that? Oh shit! Any manager in world football, so I can just go to PSG and grab Luis Enrique.
If that's the change you want to make.
What if Big Ange wins the Europa?
You better stop with that memes.
If Eddie Howe beats you 4 times in a season next weekend.
Oh, fuck Eddie Howe. I don't want that.
Hey.
I'm sauce.
He gets all the big game moments right at the minute, to be fair.
Yeah, that's because of your damn crowd, man.
What?
Because it's St. James's Park. Like, St. James's Park is the worst place to go to. When you need the win, it's the worst place to go to. And that's who he has.
So you're saying you're switching for Luis Enrique?
Yeah, I'll go for Luis Enrique.
Okay.
Even with Big Carlo coming available.
Oh, fuck that.
I know he's getting the Brazil job, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to international. Let him go. Like, he's done. He should be retired, to be fair. But yeah, I'll take Luis Enrique. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It is, yeah. Right, cool. Has anybody got anything else they'd like to fire at Samir before we wrap? That's a no.
That's what I feel.
Nah, we can do another spin-off show about that.
Yeah.
I'd like a whole show dedicated to its decisions. I'd like
The decisions cost us. That's what we'll call it.
We need to do our own ref watch. That's what we need to do.
Hate watch.
I hate watch.
Right, Samir.
Yes.
Excellent spotlight, sir. Thank you very much.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Guys,
Well done, man.
it's been a pleasure. As always, me and Stocky will be back tomorrow, SpursKingsTV, the Monday pitch. I will also be back on Spurs Kings Wednesday for the rivals. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, and God bless.